When you think of Patrick Swayze, the images that come to mind are usually from Dirty Dancing's "Nobody Puts Baby in a Corner" moment or the tear-jerking scenes in Ghost. Patrick was more than a beloved actor. He was a symbol of romance, charm, and resilience. But behind the glowing Hollywood smile lay a lifetime of hardship, personal demons, and physical struggles that ultimately shaped and cut short his career and life. Far from the bright lights of stardom, Patrick battled issues that left a lasting impact on him and those closest to him. Join us as we dive deep into the untold, tragic secrets that cost Patrick Swayze not only his life, but also his career. The roots of a star, early life and aspirations. Patrick Swayze was born on August 18, 1952 in Houston, Texas, into a world that was both nurturing and challenging. Growing up with his mother, Swayze, a renowned choreographer and dance instructor, and his father, Jesse Wayne Swayze, a cowboy-turned-engineer, Patrick's home life was a complex mix of discipline, creativity, and love. Patsy's influence in his life was particularly strong, but her tough love approach often crossed into what many would consider overly harsh. For Patrick, dance was more than just a skill. It was a form of escape, a way to express emotions he often couldn't put into words. In a place like Texas, where traditional masculinity was highly valued, ballet wasn't exactly a typical choice for a young boy. Classmates bullied him for his interest in dance, calling him names and mocking his aspirations. Despite the ridicule, he had a fire within him, and he remained dedicated to his passion. Patsy pushed him relentlessly, seeing in him a talent that could be refined into greatness. Though it strained their relationship, her strict approach helped shape his unmatched work ethic. "You want to dance? Then be the best," she would say, a mantra Patrick carried through every phase of his life. The ballet dream, a path cut short. By his teenage years, Patrick was determined to become a professional ballet dancer. His natural athleticism and the discipline instilled by his mother made him stand out. After high school, he moved to New York City, where he trained intensively with prestigious companies like the Joffrey Ballet and Harkness Ballet. Patrick had a unique blend of grace and physicality that allowed him to shine among his peers. But fate had other plans. While training, he suffered a severe knee injury, a devastating blow for anyone, especially a dancer. Doctors warned him that continuing to dance could lead to permanent damage. This injury, combined with a subsequent leg infection, left Patrick no choice but to abandon his dream of becoming a ballet dancer. It was a heartbreaking decision, one that left a void in him. Turning away from ballet wasn't just about letting go of a career dream. It was like losing a piece of himself. Dance had been his escape, his solace. He poured himself into healing, physically and emotionally, and shifted his focus toward acting, deciding that if he couldn't dance, he would find another way to make his mark. This pivot would set him on the path to Hollywood. But he never forgot the pain of losing his first passion, the Hollywood climb. Breaking through challenges. Patrick's arrival in Hollywood was anything but smooth. He was an outsider in a place that thrived on appearances, connections, and marketability. With little money and no family connections in Hollywood, he knew he would have to work tirelessly to achieve even a glimpse of his dreams. To get by, he took on a variety of small roles and worked odd jobs, often just scraping by as he tried to secure auditions. Along the way, he also worked as a carpenter and as a landscaper, which paid his bills but reminded him of how far he was from the bright lights of the film industry. His first major film appearance came in 1979 with Skate Town, USA, a roller disco movie that didn't make waves but gave him his first taste of the screen, marking a tiny step toward his goals. Patrick's charm and athleticism, though not given much screen time, hinted at the potential he held. It wasn't until The Outsiders in 1983 that he started to gain serious attention. Directed by the legendary Francis Ford Coppola, This coming-of-age classic brought together a cast of young stars, including Tom Cruise, Rob Lowe, and Matt Dillon. Patrick played Daryl Curtis, the tough and responsible older brother to the younger characters, and although it was a supporting role, his portrayal left a memorable impact on viewers. His performance showed his range as he brought emotional depth and gravitas to the part, something that the industry and audiences took note of. Swayze's serious approach to his craft earned him respect among his peers, and even Coppola praised his professionalism and dedication. His real breakthrough came a few years later in 1987 with Dirty Dancing. At first, the film was met with skepticism, seen as a low-budget project that might not attract a large audience. But when Patrick took on the role of Johnny Castle, the rebellious yet soulful dance instructor with a heart of gold, his charisma on screen electrified the film. From his intense training as a dancer and martial artist, Patrick brought both physical prowess and emotional vulnerability to Johnny, who became an unexpected romantic icon. Dirty Dancing's success was explosive, becoming one of the most beloved films of the decade. Patrick not only stole the spotlight, he stole the hearts of audiences worldwide. The film was a box office phenomenon and earned him enduring fame. His magnetic chemistry with co-star Jennifer Grey and his electrifying dance sequences catapulted him to international stardom. With his now iconic line, "Nobody puts baby in a corner," he cemented his image as a romantic leading man. However, with fame came a new set of pressures. Patrick quickly discovered that Hollywood's attention wasn't always friendly. It was unrelenting and often invasive. The pressure to maintain a flawless image while constantly being in the spotlight weighed heavily on him. The success of Dirty Dancing meant he was now seen as a heartthrob, but Patrick wanted more. He craved roles that would let him explore his range as an actor rather than ones that simply cast him as the handsome lead. Yet, Hollywood continued to box him into roles based on his good looks and physicality, overlooking his depth and skill. As the relentless scrutiny from the press and the expectations of fans grew, Patrick found himself grappling with self-doubt. The grueling nature of fame took its toll, as he struggled to keep up with the demands of Hollywood without sacrificing his identity. Fame's dark side: the struggles of success and self-image. With Dirty Dancing came fame, but Patrick quickly learned that fame was a double-edged sword. People saw him as the heartthrob, the sexy leading man, but Patrick struggled with the shallow expectations that came with this image. He wanted to be taken seriously as an actor, not just a pin-up star, and the roles he was offered often felt limiting. Despite his success, he was deeply insecure about whether he was truly valued for his talent. This inner conflict contributed to a growing problem with alcohol. He would later admit that drinking became a way to cope with the pressures and isolation of fame. Patrick often kept his struggles hidden, maintaining a polished image in public, but those closest to him, especially his wife Lisa Niemi, saw the toll it took. Lisa, who had been with Patrick since 1975, was his rock and his confidant. They shared a deep bond that helped them navigate the ups and downs of Hollywood. But as Patrick's drinking worsened, it put a strain on their relationship. Lisa tried everything to help him, standing by him even when his behavior became erratic. But fame's pressure was relentless, and Patrick found himself trapped in a cycle of self-doubt and self-destruction, the devastating loss of his father. In 1982, just before he hit Hollywood stardom, Patrick experienced one of the most significant losses of his life. His father, Jesse Wayne Swayze, passed away from a heart attack. The news was a shock, and Patrick was devastated. His father had been his grounding force, a constant source of support and encouragement. Jesse had always been there for him, whether it was for moral support or a reminder to stay true to his roots. The loss left Patrick grappling with a deep, lingering sadness. To the public, he was the resilient, confident star, but privately, he was struggling with grief that he found hard to process. The emotional void led him to lean even more heavily on alcohol, further impacting his career and relationships. Despite the pain, he tried to press forward, honoring his father's memory by continuing to push himself in his work. But the emotional wounds never truly healed. Rediscovering his passion with Ghost. In 1990, Patrick was cast in Ghost, a role that would redefine his career and give him a new sense of purpose. The supernatural romance was a perfect fit, allowing him to showcase a range of emotions that resonated with audiences on a personal level. Playing Sam Wheat, a man trapped between life and death, he brought a raw vulnerability to the role, perhaps drawing from his own experiences with loss and love. Ghost was a box office phenomenon, and Patrick's performance was widely praised. His chemistry with co-star Demi Moore, along with the memorable scenes with Whoopi Goldberg, made Ghost a timeless classic. The film's success brought Patrick his second Golden Globe nomination and a fresh wave of popularity. For a brief moment, it seemed that he had conquered the inner battles that had plagued him. However, the intense emotional weight of Ghost also left him feeling exposed. As the public once again placed him on a pedestal, Patrick struggled with the pressure to live up to this new image. Despite his success, he felt more isolated than ever, haunted by unresolved grief and the weight of expectations. His drinking, which had briefly subsided, began to creep back into his life as a coping mechanism. Struggles with addiction and marital strain. As Patrick's fame grew, so did his struggles. His drinking escalated to the point where it threatened not only his career, but his marriage. Lisa continued to stand by him, but the strain was undeniable. The two had shared so much, from the early days of their marriage to their Hollywood journey. They were soulmates, but even the strongest bond was being tested by Patrick's inner demons. At this point, Patrick was oscillating between periods of sobriety and relapse. The demands of Hollywood didn't help, as he constantly felt the need to perform and present an image of perfection. The intense self-doubt and pressure only fueled his dependency, making recovery a distant hope. Despite the love he had for Lisa, his addiction was a constant barrier, creating a sense of guilt and shame that only worsened his mental state. In an attempt to find solace, Patrick threw himself into work, taking on roles in action films like Roadhouse and Point Break. But these roles, while popular, didn't fulfill him creatively. They were a means to an end, a way to distract himself from the unresolved pain and self-doubt that lingered in his heart. The unbearable pain of a cancer diagnosis. In 2008, Patrick received the news that would forever change his life. He was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, one of the most aggressive and deadly forms of cancer. The prognosis was grim, but Patrick was determined to fight. True to his resilient nature, he threw himself into the battle, undergoing grueling treatments and continuing to work on his TV series The Beast, despite his declining health. For Patrick, the diagnosis was a wake-up call. He realized that his life had been filled with both incredible highs and deep lows, but he was determined to make the most of the time he had left. Even in the face of pain and exhaustion, he maintained his sense of humor and continued to put on a brave face. His fight against cancer became a testament to his strength and spirit, and his willingness to share his journey with the world inspired millions. Legacy and impact. Remembering Patrick Swayze. Patrick Swayze's death on September 14, 2009, left a deep void, not only among his fans but also in the hearts of his family, friends, and fellow actors. More than just an actor, Patrick was a symbol of strength and vulnerability, a man who fought tirelessly against both his personal demons and the immense physical pain he endured in his final years. His legacy lives on, and not just in his unforgettable roles, but in the profound life lessons he left behind. Patrick taught us resilience, showing us that courage isn't the absence of fear, but the determination to press forward in spite of it. Whether facing the pressures of fame, grappling with addiction, or dealing with the brutal reality of terminal illness, he remained an example of grace, honesty, and humility. Patrick's story reveals the truth that even those who seem perfect on the outside often carry heavy, unseen burdens. He showed us that it's okay to have struggles, to face hardship, and to keep moving forward even when the road seems impassable. For countless fans and those who knew him personally, Patrick's story serves as a tribute to anyone who has struggled with self-doubt, addiction, or loss. A powerful reminder that our challenges shape us and make us human. In each of his roles, from Dirty Dancing's Johnny Castle to Ghost's Sam Wheat, Patrick brought a rare authenticity that resonated deeply with audiences, allowing him to portray not just characters, but complex human beings who, like himself, were imperfect but immensely strong. So, what do you think about Patrick Swayze's story? Have you found inspiration in his journey, or do you relate to his struggles and triumphs? Well, share your thoughts and reflections in the comments below. And as we always say, if this video has touched you in any way, don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring content just like this.